We open on a winding desert road. Thunder rolls and lightning flashes as a sign points us to a ghost town. What lies in wait for us there? Who knows? Welcome to Mysteries in the Machine.
Hey yo, meddling kids! I'm Charlie.
And I'm Ethan.
And hey, look, the back of the mystery machine is opening up. Who is with us today? Is it the Three Stooges? No, it's Robert from the Damn Meme page.
Yeah,
Hello, Robert.
just the one stooge today.
Well, that makes us the Three Stooges.
That's true.
Except we're not 70s racists, so we're better than that.
That's true. Quite true.
But who is on first?
Different comedy group, but I'll allow it.
Close enough.
No. It's all the same in my head.
Same era.
I swear they performed that joke at some point. Did they not?
I mean, Abbott and Costello is who I'm thinking of. Did the Who's on
Abbott and
First
Costello is
thing.
the ones who started it and made it. I think. I'm pretty sure
the Three Stooges ever do that. I honestly don't know.
Okay, let's see. Who's on first? Three Stooges. Maybe?
Yeah, so Abbott and Costello, they did it first.
And the Three Stooges. Abbott and Costello.
Okay.
Stooges, maybe? I don't know. I
think Abbott and Costello did it on the Three Stooges show, which is why I'm...
Oh, okay. That's cool.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But hello, I'm back. Now we are in a new Scooby-Doo series. You have finished one. You have 12 billion more to go.
Pretty much. That is where we are at.
It's so great. And Ethan has no idea what the fuck is going on.
No, I have no idea what is happening.
However, I have seen this episode and maybe about half of this show before because I had a DVD disc set of I think it was 15 episodes. I still have it. That's what I watched this episode on. I just found it at BJ's, and yeah, and that's the whole story. I found it. I bought it. It's now mine, and I've watched all these episodes many times.
Is BJ's Blockbuster or something?
BJ's is like Costco. Never... It's like a different thing of. It's like Costco or Sam's Club. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a warehouse store.
Yeah, one of those warehouse stores. I had a BJ's membership. The only one who uses it now is my mom.
I am from the Midwest, so all I have is Sam's Club and Costco.
I'm now in the Midwest, so...
This is true. Listeners, Charlie moved since the last time we recorded, so...
This is true. Can't believe it. I'm in a different setting.
We are in the same time zone now.
Different setting. Lovely bear in the background.
I moved from Robert's time zone to Ethan's time zone. Can't believe it.
Yeah, so what was funny for me was that y'all were like, okay, we're going to watch this episode at 4 o'clock. I didn't see the CT. I just saw 4 o'clock. And I'm like, well, shit, it's 3 whatever now. I have to watch this now and fast. And then I looked at the Discord chat. I'm like, why aren't we sending links yet? And then I saw the CT and I'm like, when the fuck is CT? And that's an hour behind me. So I had till 5 o'clock to watch this episode. It was great.
Yeah.
You're so lucky.
Love that for you.
Love from EST to CT.
Thank you.
So
it is
Robert,
needed.
Have you seen the new Scooby-Doo movies before?
I think I have. Here's the thing. I feel like I've watched just about every Scooby-Doo up to a certain point. At least some of every Scooby-Doo, because Cartoon Network back in the day when they were first starting out were yeah, here are all our original shows, Ed, Edd and Eddie, Dexter's Lab, Cow and Chicken, blah blah blah. But also here's a special section we have at like, I forget what point of the day it was. I think it was like noon or whatever. That was like, here are a bunch of old cartoons: Tom and Jerry, Scooby Doo, Top Cat, the fucking Rad Racer, Mad Racer. What the fuck is it called? I forget.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I've
forget
seen
the
that.
name. And so I think because they did that for so long, I got to watch a little bit of all the old Scooby Doo's. And then subsequently, when the newer Scooby Doo shows were starting, like I remember watching Pup Named Scooby Doo for the first time on Cartoon Network because it's Cartoon
Yeah,
Network.
same.
So yeah, I did at least watch a couple episodes of the new Scooby Doo stories. That's what this is called, right?
The new Scooby Doo movies.
New Scooby Doo movies. I could not tell you the synopsis of any episode, but what I can tell you is the second the theme song started to play, like a sleeper agent thing woke up in me, and I remembered all the lyrics perfectly.
I love that for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Ethan, as a first time watcher of the show, how's the theme song for you?
It's a bop, but not in the same way as the original.
Yeah, it's very different. The first one is like, we're gonna try to be kind of creepier, but this one is like,
Yeah.
Ayo, it's Scooby.
It's a little more lighthearted,
Scooby-Doo.
I'd say.
Yeah, I think the Scooby Doo show is very similar on that vibe.
Yeah.
There's that. I think it's a Tumblr shitpost that's like the first Scooby Doo movie, the first Scooby Doo series, trying to make a coherent story every episode with a budget of a shoelace and a sandwich. The new Scooby Doo movies trying to make a coherent plot out of the budget of a shoelace and a sandwich, but now you have to double the time.
Yeah, and you get a celebrity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, celebrity cameos.
That's every
Well,
episode.
I thought they were just cameos from other cartoons for some of them, at least.
It's a mixture. We have so this episode's like the Three Stooges. We have Batman and Robin, Addams Family, of course. Then we have like Jonathan Winters, Don Knotts, Phyllis Diller, Sandy Duncan, Sonny and Cher. Like we have a mixture of like some like cartoon TV show characters and like some real people. And okay, was like this version of the Three Stooges, were they like a show or something?
I'm
That's
pretty sure
something that
they
I'm not
had
sure.
a cartoon show produced by Hanna-Barbera.
Okay, yes they did, but it's slightly different animated, and it was in the 60s. Okay, very interesting. But yeah, these ones I don't think I think they're just voiced by like the Scooby Doo people
Yeah.
from what I saw on the cast list.
Okay.
Well, shall we get into the show? Talk about the
We
show.
shall. Yes, let's
Yeah.
talk about the show.
Yeah, opening number, a banger. I fucking love the opening theme song of this one. I would say I love the original one more.
I would agree with
I
that.
mean, yeah. Yeah. At some point, we're gonna do like a rating or a tier list or something of like all the theme songs. But we gotta go through more of the shows first.
Yeah.
So
The opening of this episode was a little bit weird for me because it sort of does and doesn't have anything to do with the main premise. Because like the episode, I guess, starts off with Shaggy being like, "I see a mirage," and everyone's like, "The fuck are you talking about?"
yeah, this episode is just like
Yeah.
we're in a desert, so you're just gonna see random shit, and there is no explanation.
The trope of seeing mirages in the desert is like that's the whole premise of this episode. Like that's where they were going with that.
Yeah. Also, this is like one of those episodes where the gang just like is on a drive and they get lost because they do that quite often. So
Does Frey even have a map? Like they used to
no.
sell them at gas stations. It shouldn't be that hard to find them.
Oh,
Fred is just
there's
raw
like
dogging it.
there's a few of the like 2010s movies I think where
Mhm.
there's specifically a running joke of like Fred and his GPS.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to
Where like it just
I
goes
think it's like more
haywire.
than one. Yeah, I think it's more than one movie. But like there's one especially where it's like the GPS is telling him to go like this way that is like definitely the wrong way and could get you killed. And Fred's just like, "Yeah, this is totally the right way, guys." And they're all just like, "What the fuck, Freddy?"
That's fair.
Yeah, I think Fred getting people lost is just one of the things. I think that goes if that hasn't already gone on the bingo card, that's going on the bingo card. Fred gets people lost.
I'm going to open up the dock
I feel like
so I
that's
can do
Yeah.
that.
just what happens like every episode, give or take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a non-zero amount of episodes where Fred is driving the van and we just end up someplace and then we are lost and we end up in a mystery. So there's a ghost town that's a bit far down the road, and there's also this sign that they keep coming across that's like monster ahead. And I love that.
They're just fully leaning into it at this point.
Shaggy and Scooby are like, "Oh no, a monster! Ah!" And Velma's like, "Wait, guys, this is just a tourist trap. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be like a lizard or something. It's fine." And on one of the signs, as they come up onto it, it literally has a lizard on it, and I think that's even more hilarious, personally. But
Well, then Fred gets distracted by the headlights of a plane flying overhead, and they hit a sand
yeah,
dune.
well, it's not even a plane. It's literally like, so we have a weird bat car thing. I'm so confused on what the fuck
How
is happening with this.
I thought it
I've
was a
always been so
plane,
confused.
not honest to God.
It's no, it's going to ram into them. It's literally going to drive into them.
how is
Just
the
on the
special guest
street.
Oh.
this episode not Batman with that kind of opening?
The next episode is.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
next one is Batman, but this one just has like a literal car that looks like it is a bat.
Foreshadowing?
And this is like a
Maybe.
one lane road, and it's just gonna ram into them. And so Fred drives into a sand dune to
You
save
know,
them from
I
the car accident.
can't blame him there. Like, he doesn't want to hurt anybody in the car or anybody in the other car.
Yeah, no, Fred is not in the wrong here. The other guys are in the wrong. Also, they're the
Right.
baddies, so it's fine.
Right. So the mystery machine gets stuck in the sand, and they all have to get out and try to find somebody to help. Oh,
Yep,
there's the
and
lizard sign, Charlie.
yep, there's the lizard sign. We have more monster head shit going on, and all those like mirages start coming back as we see the monster itself. The monster itself is a giant dinosaur.
It's a T-Rex.
Yep.
Or at least what 60s pop culture thought of as a T-Rex.
Yeah, where are the feathers, guys?
Pretty sure we
This
didn't know
T-Rex.
about that until the 90s.
No, I don't think we did either. It was also really funny. I think the only reason really found out about it might have been because of Jurassic Park.
Well, there was
Hmm.
okay, little tangent Jurassic Park related. Someone told Steven Spielberg like, "Hey, they just figured out some of the dinosaurs had feathers," and he's like, "Well, we're too far in to retcon that. We're just gonna keep going."
It's the fact that I haven't seen any media yet that has actually put feathers on them, though. If there is a media that has feathers on a dinosaur, someone please point me towards it.
There's a David Attenborough narrated like documentary. I say that
Hmm.
because it's animated, but it's like realistic 3D animated
Right.
Interesting.
about dinosaurs. I forget what it's called.
I feel like we've all become that little boy in Mitchell's versus the Machines. Like,
Prehistoric Planet. That's the name of it.
excuse me, do you want to talk to me about dinosaurs? Do you want to talk to me about dinosaurs? Do you want to talk to me about dinosaurs?
every boy's dream is to meet a lovely girl who will talk to him about dinosaurs.
This is correct.
Every autistic child's dream.
Listen.
I'm not calling
Bo-
you out, Ethan.
boys will turn 4 and pick one of 4 things. It's either trucks, dinosaurs, like large farm
Egypt,
animals.
Rome, Egypt, Rome, anything like that.
Egypt, Rome, like
Pirates.
ancient civilizations, pirates, ninjas. That was a big debate for a while.
We love these things. All right. Back to the episode. We have mirages. They're all weird animals coming out of the woodwork. One of my new shenanigans. Okay, I'm gonna try to start the shenanigan counter.
Okay.
Scooby just digging under the sand. He does this twice, but I'm gonna just count it as once. Where it just
Okay.
like he becomes a snake under the sand for some
Okay.
reason.
I put in the shenanigan counter on the spreadsheet. So
Just like
He,
he just does that. And then there's a
That's
crocodile or an alligator or whatever.
Yeah, why is there an
crocodile.
alligator in the desert?
You
Why is
Because it's
see,
there?
a zoo.
it's the 70s, so it doesn't make sense.
Because they
I
have a
guess.
ghost town that's also a zoo that
Is also a
is
theme
in the
park?
desert. It's also
It's
a
also
theme park. I'm very confused on what is happening here. Why it's also the Three Stooges on top of all those things. Like,
why is it in the middle
The
of
Three Stooges own the park, or at least they're
what?
part of like
What is the
the
foot traffic?
staff.
What on earth is the foot traffic possible for this attraction? How much money are the Three Stooges and like the owner are that they're sinking? Who the fuck actually comes out to the middle of nowhere being like, oh yeah, a theme park, woo?
I just want to know how you market this place. Like, I think there's a reason why they were shut down, and it has nothing to do with, like, oh, this place is unsafe. No, it's because nobody came here because you didn't know how to market it. Like, stick to a
How do
theme,
you
please.
market a theme park in the middle of the desert? How do you do that?
You're in the middle of the desert, you're a ghost town, you have a zoo, you're run by the Three Stooges. What's happening?
I don't know what's going on.
Figure your shit out, please. And thank you.
Speaking of the Three Stooges,
Yeah, they show up. The gang thinks they're ghosts for about 5 seconds. And they're like, oh, we recognize them. They're from TV. This happens a lot, actually. Like, every single entrance is just like, huh, that looks like insert famous person here. No,
And
it
then lo
couldn't
and
be.
behold,
No way you saw that person. And then it's like, yeah, it is that person. So,
I mean, to be
it actually,
fair, you don't expect to see those people in real life.
yeah, this
yeah.
show is just like, let's give them a random job for some
Like, if
reason
I'm at
that's
the grocery store,
unrelated.
I don't expect to see Paul Rudd, right? Like,
Imagine if you did, though. What would you do?
I might, I might ask him like for a picture, but if he says no, I'll just go away.
Yeah.
I feel like the answer is what you do is you, I found out they were selling this in the Disney store. They have, like, the book that Ant-Man wrote, the Look Out for the Little Guy
Love
book.
that. Love
What I
that.
would
Is it
do
an
is I would
actual
get
book?
that, and I would be like, hey, can you sign this, please? Thank you.
Is it
And
actually a
then just,
fucking
that's
book?
it.
Like, what is going on?
Like, why?
Anyway,
Why does that exist?
the Three Stooges rile up an orangutan. That's another shenanigan I guess we could do there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's going on the list.
Okay,
I have a whole list, but I might have missed things.
that's fair. The Stooges take them to the ghost town theme park zoo thing.
And they've also seen the bat, the weird, like, bat car that drives
Yeah.
around and terrorizes them. They're like, what the fuck? We don't know. Also, there's a dinosaur. And they're like, oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. The dinosaur's, like, it's
The
just an
Dark's a
attraction.
machine. Yeah.
It was part of a kid's playground, but also it's just, like, on a ledge somewhere, and it's really weird.
Right. It looks like one of the Jaegers from Pacific Rim on the inside, but we'll get there.
There are so many reasons why this place has been shut down. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. Like, not the least of which is like when the Stooges take them into like this bar that's apparently part of a theme park for children, the
It's the
dinosaur
Old Town Saloon,
roars.
you know?
Yeah. The dinosaur roars and everything starts breaking.
Yeah, like the chandelier falls down, the tables crack, and everything is broken.
OSHA would have a fucking field day with this place.
That may be why they got shut down, is OSHA was like, hey, we can't have that.
Yeah,
Did
and
OSHA
then
exist at this point? I don't know.
Maybe
man.
question mark. I don't know when OSHA was formed.
These are things that I do not know the answers to.
1971. So when is this episode released?
Just barely.
1972. So it's barely been
72.
around.
So OSHA was around, but not helpful.
Apparently not helpful. Another reason I wouldn't want to go to this park. The guy that enters the room next is Rhino. He does not speak. He just, like,
Grunts. He just grunts. And the Stooges are like, hey, this guy's shady. We need to fire him, but we're afraid of him.
Yeah, my next shenanigan is when Mo tries to make Curly, like, a fire Rhino, and Curly faints, and Mo's just like, nope, go again, and then Curly faints again, like, okay, this is not working, guys. He's just
So
a
then
big, intimidating guy.
Yeah, he goes in. grunts at them, people faint, and then he leaves.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be the one who takes care of the animals,
Yeah,
I guess.
I guess.
I don't
He's
know.
dressed like fucking Crocodile Dundee, so
Yeah. I did
It's
notice his outfit.
he's dressed like that, and also the way he speaks is just, I mean, there's such
whoa.
a thing as, I guess, like bad voice acting at this time, because I think voice acting in cartoons is like a relatively new art, but also oof.
Yeah, big oof. So then we meet Tyrone the T-Rex, the fake robotic T-Rex.
My favorite character.
That's
all
fair.
No,
he
maybe my
all
second favorite character in this episode. We'll get to my favorite.
all all he says is rar.
He did a
Yeah,
rar.
he says the same rars as Rhino does, honestly. First
Well,
suspicious thing. The Tyrone sounds just like Rhino.
didn't even change the pitch or tone at all.
It's the same voice. Oh, also the bat. Also the bat goes crazy or something.
Fucking bat.
Oh wait, maybe that's later. No, that's later. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Tyrone is great. Tyrone is just a giant dinosaur. What's wrong with Tyrone? The Tyrannosaurus. Tyrannosaurus? They made a lot of
Tyrannosaurus
jokes
Rex?
about that.
Yeah.
Tyrannosaurus Rex. So they're trespassing, actually, apparently. Even though the Stooges
Mm-hmm.
said it was fine to go over here. The Stooges have, like, run away because the dinosaur was roaring. And there's this guy who's like, hey, you're trespassing. Get off my property. As Scoopy's doing his little sand slithery thing. And he ends up opening up the dinosaur?
Yeah, by like accidentally like running into the hind leg of the dinosaur, which has like a giant ass door.
Yeah. So he got up in there, and everyone's confused. And then they all figure out, he really is just like a big machine. Like, we all knew that. I feel like we all figured out that he was not real because he was part of the playground. I feel like it's interesting that they thought this was a mystery. But go off, guys.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's literally like, you found out the secret of Tyrone! Hooray! Guys, it's a fake dinosaur. It was gonna be a recording
Yeah.
based on any
It was
clues.
always fake.
So this guy that said they were trespassing is actually the Stooges' manager. He operated the park, and his name is Mr. Crunch.
Not
Crunch, crunch.
no captain here. Just
No captain here. So yeah, they go back and tell the Stooges about this, and that's when the bat goes crazy. Ethan, I got the sense that you did not like this bat.
first off, they named it Dingbat.
Which is not creative at all.
No, not an ounce of creativity at all. The only reason
As
this
a
thing
small
exists is to be a
child?
plot device.
As a small child, I thought that was 10 out of 10 hilarious because I was a small
That's
child.
like naming your
watching
cat
this.
Cat.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Small children do that, Ethan.
Where's the
Again,
creativity?
it's a joke.
Where's the passion?
It's a joke for a small child.
Fair.
Even
They
jokes
had
for small children.
what was their
can be
budget again,
passionate.
Robert? What was the budget?
The budget of a shoelace and a sandwich.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
No creativity here. So she goes crazy because Crunch comes near her. Apparently. No.
Who knows?
Who knows why that is? Maybe it'll be explained by the end of the episode.
Maybe.
Maybe. But the worst part is that Moke puts it in his jumpsuit.
Curly.
Why? Curly puts it in his jumpsuit. For some reason.
Why not? I guess. I don't know. He's just like, oh no, I don't want you to run into things, so you're just gonna end up going around. I don't know. They're
I don't either.
3 idiots. That's the whole point.
That's one reason I didn't really like the fact that they're here. They're just all so dumb. There's only so much dumb that can exist at a given time.
Hey. The funny dumb thing that I think happens next is when Velma has disappeared because she went after Crunch. And they're all like, oh no, we have to go find her. And then the Stooges start this like, no, we're scaredy cats. Meow, meow. And then Shaggy and Scooby continue it. And I'm just like, yeah, me too, guys. Meow.
Cat Boys,
That's
the
fair.
birth of Cat Boys in 1972.
Oh my god, not again.
Cat boys.
So Crunch pulls a lever, Velma falls through the floor of this old building underground and is perfectly fine.
Yep. Don't worry about it. Velma did not totally just die. We're all good. So we split up and search for clues. Hey, and now we have a smart gang, scared gang, and the Stooges.
Mm-hmm.
And Shaggy and Scooby are just yelling, Velma, Velma, and their entire section of the park. And then they're like, okay, there's a saloon. We could go into it or not. Let's flip a quarter for it. It's a two-headed quarter. This is some
What's the
Two-Face
point?
shit. Shaggy, why are you Two-Face?
Why did he do that? But then more shenanigans ensue as the quarter rolls into the saloon, making the decision for them.
The whole thing, this is just all an entire shenanigan. Like, Shaggy did this for the chaos of it.
Are you counting the player piano thing as a separate shenanigan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am. Because just the quarter itself being like, I'm gonna make the decision for you. And then the quarter, like, bounces off a million things, ends up in the piano, and then the piano plays, and they think it's, oh no, it's a ghost. Ah.
I'm sorry, no, I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for casual jokes where it's just like, heads you do this, tails I do this, and the fact that it's a two heads coin is inconspicuous, and Scooby just like shaking and nodding. And I'm like, that's I love shit. I love shit humor like that.
Right? It's amazing. It's wonderful. This piano is on drugs.
Because it makes Scooby faint somehow.
No, because the keys are like going up and down and up and down and spinning around in the air. That's not how pianos work, so that's a shenanigan.
Okay, cool. It's on the counter.
And I think it's funny that Shaggy's like, what are you so upset about? It was my quarter.
And we go to the Stooges, and this cartoon starts to show its age. Real strong start here.
Yeah, guys, we got another racist episode.
Oof.
I mean, we are in the desert. It is a cowboy museum, and we have, the cowboys and the natives as a trope. So there's a wooden native statue outside.
Wooden, in quotes.
Yeah. I mean, I do think it's funny that Curly tries to talk to it, where he's just like, have you seen this girl's 2 inches high with glasses? And the statue answers her back. It's like, oh, that's not inconspicuous whatsoever.
Nope. But they're just so dumb it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. The other best part is that the museum is all about a million cowboys. And Billy the Kid
Is an actual child.
is a baby in a baby cage. I love it. But they run the heck out of there because the gunslinger is actually a person and he's moving. So, guys, we gotta get the fuck out. That's not normal.
Time to get out.
So you go to Fred and Daphne, and they're just outside
My
the towers
favorites.
looking around.
My favorite part of the episode.
Yes.
Fred and Daphne in the desert.
Where a dude dressed like a cactus is following them?
Okay, I'm so confused on how many disguises there are now.
Right, because, like, there's two
many.
dudes who are responsible for this, with 3 different gangs all at the same time. What is happening?
Too much. That's what's happening.
Because, yeah, we already saw the gunslinger and the Native American in the last scene. And now we have a cactus? Unless
What's
the gunslinger
happening?
was the robotic one that ends up showing up later.
I think it was.
Maybe it was. But this is my favorite gag of the episode where they're tossing the water back and forth. Like, Fred's like, oh, I'm so thirsty. And then before he can pass it to Daphne, the cactus takes a straw out, takes a drink of it, and then hands it to Daphne. Neither one of them noticed that the cactus drank it. And Daphne's like, what the fuck, Fred? You drank all of the water.
The perception checks are being failed left and right.
Absolutely.
It's like, how bad was your perception if you didn't notice there was a fucking cactus next to you drinking your water? Anyway, the cactus is one of my shenanigans.
Okay.
Best guy. The cactus, my favorite character.
So back with Scooby and Shaggy. Scooby is woken up with just a spray bottle full of dust. Cool.
Poor guy.
As one does.
And he seizes himself into a panel in the wall and falls down.
Like, literally just the wall opens up and he falls into a pit. So Shaggy's like, oh no, I need to go find Scooby, but it's dark. I need a light.
And just a red hand comes out of a curtain with a lantern.
That's not ominous whatsoever.
No.
It might be a little bit ominous.
Shaggy gets covered in flour, which I think is another thing that needs to go on the bingo card. Somebody gets covered in a white thing and is believed to be a ghost. Usually it's flour. And I think it's funny that he's a flower child. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha.
Haha.
Because he's a hippie.
He's
So
definitely the
we're getting-
most hippie out of all of them.
Right? He is. So they get the fuck out of this basement. They find the stairs. The stairs are apparently magic or electronic, whichever.
I was gonna say it's just an escalator.
It's an escalator for some reason. Also, the door opens up by a button too, and there's a slide on the other side. What is this place? What is this terrifying place they have entered?
It's a dungeon. That's what it is.
Another OSHA nightmare.
Yeah. But apparently not. It's the fun house with a whole bunch of mirrors. So you get some shenanigans there. If you want to put those on the counter. We don't have to.
Oh yeah. No, the mirrors are a shenanigan for the fact that they Shaggy and Scooby are like going and saying, "Oh look, we're so funny looking, ha ha ha," and then Scooby is looking at a mirror and he sees Ngagi, the orangutan.
The orangutan. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "Huh, it's me. I look funny." It's like, dude, that's literally a monkey or an ape right there. Like, that's not you. Are you paying attention?
No, he never is.
And it was apparently just him being a jokester the whole time.
Okay, there's a difference between pulling a prank and endangering people's lives.
It just reminds me of those early 2012 or early 2010 pranks. So it's like, it's just a prank, bro. Pushes someone to their death. It's just a prank, bro.
Just a prank, bro.
To be fair, this is an animal and not a person.
That's true. Ngagi may not know that's not okay. Yeah. Okay. We're back with Fred and Daphne now. What?
Yeah. Is this the joke that you meant? Is this
Yes, so listeners, as I was watching this, I referenced, this is where the meme came from. And Charlie asked, what meme? And I said, I'll tell you later. This is what it is. I had seen a clip from this episode of Fred chasing the cactus man, yelling, "Come back and fight like a man, you vegetable."
I love that part.
Oh, yes, I remember that meme there. I was like, which one in specific were you referring to? I'm like, yes, that's that.
Yes, it's that
I
one.
was like, it's got to be either something with the cactus, like it's definitely the Fred and Daphne parts because that's the highlight of the episode. But is it the cactus thing or is it the weird misogynist part?
No, it's the cactus.
Because Fred is just like, wow, this desert reminds me of a woman. How? It goes on and on and on. And I'm like, okay, Fred.
Some light misogyny with the racism as a treat.
What's your damage, Freddy? Anyway, this cactus also gets rid of all of their footprints so they can't find their way back. They are fucking lost. I'm surprised they survived this.
Yeah, it gets cold in the desert at night, so I'm surprised they're not shivering either.
Is it the night or is it the day? Because they have not established what
I thought
time
it was nighttime. You
would think so, but they're complaining that it's so hot.
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
And they figure out, there's a dude inside this cactus. And that's where the meme happens. Because
Yeah,
Fred
I love that
chases
the
after him.
cactus, it de-inflates.
Well, yeah.
Like,
Well,
that
it's
just
like
makes
those
me think,
inflatable T-Rex costumes, but it's a cactus.
yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I'm like,
Are there, hold on, inflatable cactus costume? Yes, they exist.
Halloween costume, guys.
Yep.
That's the Halloween
They
costume.
So here's the thing about inflatable cactus costumes. Some of them kind of just make you look like a green dick with balls.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
I see that.
As it
That
should, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Is it bad that I want one?
No.
you want to look like a dick and balls? Like what's going on, Charlie?
I don't have to have the one that's the dick and balls. Not all of them look like a
There are
dick and
other ones
balls.
out there, though some of them are racially charged.
Oh
Yeah,
man. Yep.
for some
I don't know
reason.
why we got to throw a sombrero on a cactus. Cacti are not indigenous
Like,
to just Mexico. Like what the fuck?
right. There's cacti like all over where deserts are. Oh well. We're checking back in with Velma.
It's the first time we've seen her since she disappeared.
Yeah.
And she's in the old mine. And that's basically all we get from her.
And then we go to the Stooges. And racism. Back
More
Insert
again.
racism.
racism. We have a Native American war cry, apparently, is what this
Sure.
Apparently,
show is saying.
I'm not qualified enough to say whether or not that's true. For all I know, it's
I'm
just
not
70s
either.
racism. For all I know, it's
That's,
just 70s racism and they're just making a random noise.
They
yeah,
could
that's
be.
what the show is saying it is. Who knows if it's actually true? Also, Fred and Daphne somehow made it out of the desert now. And they're back just as
Good
this
for
is
them, I
happening.
guess.
There's an earthquake, there is lightning, and then there's the native guy, like, doing a little
Screaming, hooting and
dance.
hollering. Yeah.
And everybody's like, what the fuck's happening?
The Stooges get on the minecart ride.
I love it. I think it should count as a shenanigan that Mo thinks he knows how to drive this thing because he like turns the wheel as if he can and then he tries to
Right.
like brake with his feet. It's a
That's how you do it
ride,
in the
sir.
car.
It's a ride. You
Okay,
know this, you
Charlie.
own this place.
Charlie. They're dumb.
I
That's their
know.
whole thing.
That's why it's a shenanigan, because they're so dumb.
Oh, truly, honestly.
So yeah, like you said, Fred and Daphne are out of the desert, and they meet back up with Shaggy and Scooby.
They're like, oh, we should ask for help from Rhino and Crunch. But they're playing cards back in like the saloon or something. We can't help them. They
Why
can't help us
not?
or whatever.
Why not?
Yeah,
Why wouldn't they be able to just pause for a little bit?
yeah.
But
And now we have Gunslinger. Who
sure, why not? Apparently, Fred and Daphne fell through the ground on top of Velma, because that's a thing.
It just honestly be like that sometimes.
Yeah, seriously. I think they went through like maybe the same spot that Velma did, and she just hadn't moved.
I guess.
Maybe. So Scooby is like attempting to go through this thing with the gunslinger, like, you know, we're doing the high noon, whatever.
Even though it's not noon, but
It
Who knows what
definitely.
fucking time it is?
You know
who
what?
knows?
Maybe this is one of those instances where it's like weird ethereal beings are controlling time. Because now that the future Scooby Doo shows are like, oh yeah, sometimes we just reboot the universe for shits and giggles. Like a lot of weird things just happen.
Mystery
Yeah,
Incorporated.
true. We'll get there when we get there.
We sure will. This guy is shooting at them. I want to know if the bullets are real, or if it's a pop gun or something.
I hope they're blanks at the worst.
Yeah, there's something going on here. So
But Scooby gets stuck in a water barrel and I guess turns the gunslinger around a whole bunch, crashed into a
that's a
well.
shenanigan.
That's a shenanigan for sure.
For sure, because how Scooby just like turns this guy around and he's now like on the fritz This robot man
Yeah,
cannot work, and Scooby is now in a well.
sure. Yeah, the gunslinger robot gets busted up, falls to pieces.
Yeah. And back to the rest of the gang, and the Stooges, they have all met up at the bottom of the mine. They are stuck there. They're all stuck. There is no way out. Fuck. They were imprisoned.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
But
not great.
Curly starts glowing, and the fucking bat goes fucking nuts.
Oh, it's the rocks behind him that are glowing. It's like
Oh, okay.
it's the radioactive
Yeah.
rocks.
There will
So
definitely be no negative consequences for this whatsoever.
None whatsoever.
not at all. All of a sudden, there is dust, and Velma sneezes, and the rock slide has gotten even worse. So they're super fucked. They're gonna die
Yeah,
down
not
there,
great.
guys.
So they're like, well, what else do we do? We're just gonna hack away at it.
Apparently. Shaggy attempts to get Scooby out of the well. First, he does it backwards, and then he does it forward so much, not even noticing that Scooby's already out. Scooby goes flying all the way to Tyrone, bounces all the way down Tyrone, around his tail, comes back, and hits Shaggy, and they both go down the well. That is a fucking shenanigan if I've ever
That's a
seen one.
shenanigan if I've ever seen one.
What is happening here, guys?
So many shenanigans. Honestly, there being so many shenanigans in an episode of The Three Stooges, it shouldn't. It tracks.
I've counted
tracks.
11 thus far.
Yeah, this is our new thing of this season, is that we're going to be counting every time something is just like wildly insane and funny.
So the Stooges are still trying to figure out a way out, but they see something like wedged between the rocks up there.
It's an air vent.
Oh,
We can call for
yeah.
help, maybe.
Maybe. Shaggy and Scooby get themselves out of the well, and the air vent just goes straight to the surface. So that's how that
Apparently.
works.
Oh, also in the time that like we went from like the gang to Shaggy back to the gang, they put all of the mine cars on top of each other so they could reach the air vent to speak into it. I
don't
think
know.
that's funny.
It's funny. Does that count as a shenanigan, Charlie?
No, it happened off screen.
Okay, we didn't see it, so it doesn't count. Got it.
No, I don't think it should count. So
Okay.
they're like, okay, you guys are down in the mines. How do we get you? Do we dig? What are we supposed to do? How do we save the gang? But mostly they're
It's
like,
like,
let's
go-
save Velma still.
Right. They're like, we'll just go get help from Crunch and Rhino at their
Who are
poker
playing
game.
cards.
And it's just a couple of dummies.
Yeah, like literally, you could tell because they're like yelling at them, being like, "Hey, it's us! Anyone home?" And no one's moving. I'm like, "Oh, it's just that old shtick. It's like two dummies, as Ethan said, just in position for what reason?"
I don't know.
I think that's hilarious. Well, it's like, oh, did they have an alibi? This is their whereabouts. You can all see clearly, right? Except actually, they were maybe the bad guys. Who is to say?
Who's to say?
We have, I think, maybe 2 shenanigans right off the bat where,
Oh, with Shaggy swinging on the grandfather clock?
yes, we have to think of an idea, and Scooby's getting annoyed, so Shaggy's like, okay, I gotta stop the clock for you because that's a noise in the room. Gonna swing on that? Okay. Well, that didn't work. Scooby, here's your thinking cap, is the next one.
And it's like a 15-gallon cowboy hat.
And then he's just sitting there for like 15 minutes, and Scooby fell asleep.
Put him in a
Scooby.
sensory deprivation hat. He just fell
Apparently.
asleep.
Oh my god, boy.
So they're like, oh, what do we do? Let's go get the dinosaur.
It's the only idea we have, guys. The only thing that we haven't brought back into the fold, it's the dinosaur. And boy howdy.
Is this one shenanigan, or are there multiple shenanigans contained within this?
I think I would just go with Tyrone as just one, because
Okay.
boy howdy,
There's so much happening.
he's just dancing, and like a million things are happening. Shaggy has
'cause,
no
like-
idea what buttons he's pressing.
Right, because who knows how to drive a giant metal dinosaur?
It reminds
And then
me of Regrets in Paris, where somehow, some way, a bunch of babies figured out
yeah,
how to navigate a giant Reptar animatronic.
Right.
of course.
Apparently this dinosaur has roller skates. Cool.
So did
Yeah,
Reptar.
That's
so
true.
did Reptar. Are we saying that Rugrats in Paris, the first movie I ever saw in theaters, stole its ideas from this episode of Scooby Doo?
Maybe it did. Who knows?
There's definitely inspiration.
At some point, they even like break the controls, but it's fine. They fix it. But we dig out the gang like using his
Yep.
giant mouth, and even like pick up the Stooges by their butts.
Cool. So now everybody's out, and we cut to the villains for half a second.
Yeah, now he's dressed as the gunslinger, even though we've established that the gunslinger was probably just an animatronic the entire time.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
So Scooby and Shaggy use Tyrone again, break the controls to go after the little bat car thing.
That comes out of one of the buildings. The entire
Yeah.
front end of the building just like goes up like it's a fucking garage,
Yeah.
and the bat comes out. So they're following it, and then they catch the guys by dropping some rocks on them. Also, we figure out that the Native American doing his war cry thing was actually recording as well. It's just
Wow.
like the dinosaur. Whoa.
Crazy.
Everything's recorded. You know, this is a very
Wow.
lazy. It's a very lazy theme park slash town slash whatever the fuck. If they're all, it's all pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they got the
So
guys
Scooby and Shaggy drop them
literally into the jail.
with Tyrone the T-Rex.
I love that for
Yeah, through
them.
the roof.
And
They have
we solved the
a
mystery.
little
It was
debrief around the table. It was the only two other characters that we met besides the Stooges, who were with the gang
Yeah,
the
it's
entire time.
again, that's the rule of
Wow.
thumb for most Scooby-Doo episodes.
Right.
If it's not, if it's not the celebrity voice actors, and it's usually honestly, it's usually the person who has like the most detail drawn on their character.
Right.
true. True enough.
Very true.
So, yeah, apparently there was like uranium in the mine, and that's what was fucking with the bat. It was like literally fouling up her radar. So, they were trying to get everybody out of the old mine, and they wanted to sell that. Cool. Uranium smugglers.
And Shaggy just has a bag of uranium.
As
Great
one
idea.
does. Like, I mean, hey, I know the economy is bad now,
Hello?
but you know it was good back in the 70s when you could just casually have a bag of uranium.
Yep. We get one more little gag with the bat because the bat's confused by uranium. Cool. The bat smacks into a giant sandwich that the Stooges brought for Shaggy and Scooby, but they pull a Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 1 and catch all of the toppings back on the sandwich just fine.
But what time is it, Ethan? What time is it?
It's terror time again.
Hey, yo. Did you know this is, in fact, the series premiere of the Scooby Doo movies? The new Scooby Doo
No
movies.
way, that's crazy.
What?
Not like this isn't the start of season 2 or anything for us. Wow.
Whoa. What's up with that?
Wow.
I
So
think that's
this
funny.
the title card for this episode reuses the theme that Mind Your Own Business had from the last series. So that's cool.
Okay, this is something that I'm very confused about. So the name of the ape is Ingagi.
Mm-hmm.
It's spelled Ngogi. It's spelled as it's pronounced, and
Right.
it's similar to the name Ingagi, which is Ingagi. I don't know.
Okay.
I guess it's some kind of in joke about a
It.
movie of the same name about gorillas.
Yeah.
I'm very confused on why this exists, but okay.
Oh well. This is the only episode where Shaggy doesn't announce the guest stars, but
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
the restored version of the episode on the best new Scooby Doo movies, which I think is what you have, Charlie.
Yeah, I think that might be the one that I have. I'll have to like share a picture of it.
And I think on HBO, which is where I watched it, it fixed that too.
Yeah, because he's always just like, today we're joined by insert guest here or whatever.
Yeah.
It's fun. The DVD release of Scooby Doo Shaggy Showdown presents this episode's intro uncensored, leaving all uncleared guest stars footage intact.
Weird. I have no idea what this means. The Region 2 DVD release this episode is Ghastly Town, both in the case and the episode listing. I don't know what
Do you
Region 2 means.
so there's like different regions of like the world for
Oh,
what is where they're released. So like certain
okay.
like region ones won't work on, I'm pretty sure they won't all work on like your like disc player at home. Like if you
Okay.
get the wrong region, it shouldn't be able to read your disc from what I understand about it. But it's also like where it's released.
Hmm.
So I think we are technically a region 1 in the United States.
Okay. So is Region 2 like Canada or the UK?
I am not sure, but it is like different places.
Okay. So you're looking that up. So in this episode, we have no disguises, no Scooby snacks, and one count of zoinks.
Zoinks.
Okay, Region 2 DVDs are primarily intended for playback in Europe, Japan, the Middle East, South Africa, and Greenland.
That's a lot of places.
At least this is according to Google. You can play the DVDs in the US and other countries on a region free or multi region DVD player.
Weird. I didn't know that regions
Like,
existed for DVDs. That's a weird thing to have.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
a
regions
whole
exist
thing.
for DVDs for I think for video games too. Video games and consoles.
Neat.
Okay, so we got our cultural references.
There will be plenty of them for this one, for this series.
Yeah, this is the first one here is just explaining everything there is to know about the Three Stooges. It was a
Yeah.
trio comprised of Mo Howard, Curly Howard, and Larry Fine originally. Then we replace Curly with Shemp when Curly passed away, and then Shemp passed away and was replaced with Curly Joe. Oh, and also some guy named Joe apparently in the middle of this. I did not know about him. I'm not gonna lie.
I didn't either.
I only knew about Curly, Shemp, and Curly Joe.
Same.
Um, but by the time this episode premiered, all the Stooges were retired, and Mo and
They
Larry
hadn't passed
passed
away
away in,
yet, but
yeah, Mo and Larry passed away in 75. Joe passed away in 88, and Curly Joe in 93. And I guess the Stooges are toned down for Scooby Doo.
that's
Apparently,
what
I did
toned
not
down
realize.
is?
Apparently,
Okay.
they're, I don't know,
Toned down is
more.
just dumb?
I'm not sure. Mo is apparently
Hmm.
really mean.
Weird.
And they never wear the jumpsuits except for in these 2 episodes that they're in of Scooby Doo. That
Weird.
is just for this show.
Velma indirectly calls Ngogi King Kong. Don't think that needs any explanation, but okay.
Yeah. At some point, they call the wooden Native American guy Geronimo, who
Mm-hmm.
was in fact, a real person.
He was indeed a real person.
Yeah, a leader of the Benonkohe Apache. I don't know if I'm
I
pronouncing that
don't
right.
know. Apologies for our pronunciation.
Yeah. And then there's another thing here that's, I guess, a reference to Tonto from the Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
Curly Joe calls him Kimasabi.
Kimosabe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, Velma's missing. Curly Joe says, come out wherever you are, which is from The Wizard of Oz.
Come out, wherever you are.
And then we have several actual cowboys referenced. We have Wyatt Earp, Wild Bill Hickok, Jesse James, and then Billy the Kid, who is a baby for the joke.
Charlie, did you pronounce the first name Wyatt Earp? It's Earp.
Earp. I
It's Earp.
don't know. I don't pronounce things well, if you hadn't noticed.
That's fair. When the gunslinger short circuits, Shaggy says fastest shortcut in the West, which is a reference to the Benny Hill song, Ernie the fastest milkman in the West. Okay, so that's all of our
Oh.
trivia. Whew,
Nice.
these are going to be beefy.
Okay, how many shenanigans did we end with today?
I counted 14.
Damn, put that on the list. We're gonna have to keep going and see which one has the most
Yeah.
at the end of the series. Okay.
So the rating out of 5 Scooby snacks, where do we rank this?
3.5.
That's generous. I was going to give it 3.
I mean, are we still rating it specifically on the mystery itself, or
No, not
we're just
necessarily.
okay? Mm, yeah, I guess I'd give it 3, maybe less. I still just like the cactus.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't just the mystery; it's the episode overall. For the
Yeah,
shenanigans, that bumps it up from a 2.5 to a 3 for me.
yeah. All right, 3.
Cool. Whose side are we on? I think this is obvious. Just by default, we don't side with people trying to sell uranium illegally.
I'm not gonna lie, I also just didn't like the vibes of either of those guys. Like,
Yeah,
before
me
you
neither.
even know that they're evil, they're just both kind of jerks. And
Yeah,
it's like, okay,
just not great people.
I don't like them. So no
No.
thank you.
All
I think
right.
this is hilarious that you wrote 3 out of 5 and it wrote 2024.
Oh, that is not intended.
That's just how
Um,
cheats work sometimes.
I guess.
Oh my
You know what?
goodness.
Whatever.
All right. Thank you, Robert, for coming on and joining us for this first episode of the new season.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Beans.
Robert, do you want
Where?
people to find you on the internet?
No, I think Robert is would like to stay anonymous. Actually,
Oh, too late for that, besties. I am the opposite of anonymous at this point. Yeah, if you want to hear me podcast some more, I podcast with this being Charlie. We talk about Steven Universe. By the time this episode comes out, we should be done with the first season, so that's a whole backlog of episodes to listen to, which will be great.
finally.
Finally,
I mean, there was a whole year's worth of content that was delayed by a strike, so
there was the strike. There was the strike that was both me and Charlie individually moving. There were several times where I was really, really fucking sick. All
And
those
me
things
too,
that delay a
probably.
podcast.
it's a
Yeah, all
lot.
those things that delay a podcast, but it's finally almost done. At least when we're recording this, by the time it comes out, it will have already been done. I don't know when the hell we're starting season 2, but hey, good for that. And then if you want to see me on the internet elsewhere, I am the runner of an account called the Damn Meme Page on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. It's damn spelled DAM. And if I say this out loud right now, it will convince me to actually do the fucking work. It's also going to be a YouTube channel. The first video is about Percy Jackson merch and the lack thereof. It should be, when does this episode come out?
It'll be October 21st.
21st. So,
It will have been out by now, and hopefully maybe another video. I still don't know yet, but I'm dipping my toes into becoming one of those cool bean YouTubers.
Very good, very good.
you should do that, Robert. You should definitely be a YouTuber. I support you.
I also support Robert.
Thank you.
I'll follow you.
Same.
Thank you very much.
Click to subscribe. Click that bell for notifications.
Yeah, click subscribe, click that bell for notifications. Join, be a damn memer, and join my
Oh my
Patreon.
God.
I don't have a
Damn
Patreon yet.
humor. Robert, I'm waiting for you to do your other bit that you keep doing on every podcast that we are.
Oh yeah,
on
okay. So
together.
hey, if you want to, hey, so speaking of the fact that I come from a Steven Universe podcast with this dipshit over here, Charlie. If you want to hear us be dipshits in a live setting, perhaps you could write to the wonderful people who are trying to organize DashCon 2
Oh
and
my God.
yell at them to be like, hey, have Charlie and Robert, the only Steven Universe podcast, come, because Steven Universe and Percy Jackson are probably the two things that's keeping Tumblr alive at this point. They got rid of the porn. There's no more porn on Tumblr, except that there's still porn on Tumblr. But other than the porn, it's Steven Universe and Percy Jackson.
My favorite things: Steven Universe, Percy Jackson, and porn.
Oh my God.
One of these is a lie.
As long as you don't post a female presenting nipple, you're fine. What the fuck does that mean? Who knows?
Who knows?
Right? Right? Well, yeah. I don't know where to end from here. All right.
Just do it.
Yeah, I will. I will just do it. We're gonna go split up and look for clues for our next mystery. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
You can follow this podcast socials at Mysteries in the Machine Pod on Instagram. You can send a message to our email, mysteriesinthemachinepod@gmail.com. Be sure to give us a rating, a review, or let your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. That really helps. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws.
You can find me, Ethan, on Instagram and Threads at ethan.t.hewlin. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram.
Yes, I did start. Because I told you it was at 4.
We have an Abby.
She said hi.
Hi, friends.
Hi, Abby.
Hello.
Sorry to the listeners for interrupting.
Love you. Bye.
Whoever's editing this is going to put it at the end anyway. I think it's me. No, it's Charlie.
It's me. It's me.
Rip. Honestly, Ethan, I feel like you could do. You should totally co-host a. Oh fuck, what's it called? Twilight Zone podcast, because you have like the same cadence and like greatness as Rod Sterling.
That is very high praise. Thank you, Robert.
Of course.
Ethan has very good creepy announcer voice.
It is an art.